Welcome back to the first brief, where real journeys meet the soul of the legal profession. In today's episode, we are joined by someone who shapes minds, nurtures perspectives, and is quietly building the next generation of the legal thinkers. We are here with an assistant professor of law, someone who stepped into the classroom not just to teach law, but to live it every day through the questions and curiosity of her students. So please welcome Sreya Chakraborty, who currently teaches at Techno India, Kolkata. Thank you for being here, ma'am. We are truly excited to hear your story.
Thank you so much for considering me for this episode, for this endeavor of yours.
Mhm.
I'm
It's
honored to be a part of this.
Thank you, ma'am. So let's begin our fourth episode here, and let's start it from the beginning. What inspired you to choose law as a career?
Well, to answer this, I would like to say that I'm an accidental lawyer.
Okay,
Okay,
that's a new word we
so
heard of.
yes, I'm an accidental lawyer. I
Okay,
initially had no plan of joining here because no one in
okay,
my family is from this background. My father is a
okay.
civil engineer.
Mm-hmm,
My parents and mother is a homemaker, and none of them, all are from engineering background or normal general background.
okay.
So, in fact, none from last two, three generations are in law. So, I am
Mm-hmm,
considered to be a chain breaker of the family. So
mm-hmm,
what happened is that my mom initially wanted to me to get into medical, but that by destiny didn't happen. So one
mm-hmm,
day she saw an advertisement of Calcutta University uh,
mm-hmm.
entrance, and she asked me to fill it out, give it a try. At least you'll
Okay.
be getting in a good college.
Mm-hmm.
So I filled up the form and I cracked the examination, and then a new world opened for me.
And that's how the
And
journey
since then,
started.
that's how the journey started, and there has been
Yeah.
no turning back ever
No
since
turning back ever since.
2012.
That's great. So, was teaching always a plan of your journey, or has it
No,
happened along the way? How did it happen?
um, it was never my plan
Okay.
because I never thought that I would have that much patience. To be
Mm-hmm,
very honest, to become a good teacher or coming into this
mm-hmm,
profession, it
mm-hmm.
happened in lockdown.
Okay.
So after I was in the final leg of my LLM
Mm-hmm,
degree during lockdown.
mm-hmm.
So, and we all know what happened during lockdown, that
Yeah.
the world came to a standstill,
Mm.
and I was also a practicing advocate during that time.
All right.
And belonging to a small town, and also a first generation, of the pressure was very much on me. And
Mm-hmm,
it, to be very honest, I had faced many setbacks. I faced many
okay.
setbacks, and I couldn't get proper exposure. I couldn't travel, so it was holding me back. So I
Mm-hmm,
was thinking of my career. And
mm-hmm,
when my LLM results came out, my professors, my seniors, everyone said, "Why
mm-hmm.
aren't you considering academia? Because you are good
Okay.
in studies, potential."
Mm-hmm,
I I was saying, I don't consider myself good enough. So they were
yeah.
all like, give it a try, give it a try, you will shine.
Mm-hmm,
So then finally in 2022 November, it happened when
mm-hmm.
our HOD madam considered me for this opportunity. And
Yeah.
since then, I got to know that it has always been academia, which is my true calling.
True calling. That's how people get their journeys to a stable position. It is never
Yeah.
a planned journey. It is always a journey which
No,
has
for
started
me, it
midway.
has never been planned. Yeah. And
Yes.
I started
So,
my PhD
hmm,
in law.
hmm,
So everything is going by as far as a flow.
now, right?
Yes, for now.
Yes.
Yes.
So let's move on to the third question of the evening. Like being a teacher, being a professor, being an assistant professor, do you feel like the legal education in India focuses more on theory than the practical exposure the student should get? What's your thinking?
I agree to this. I
Hmm.
agree to this that still education is mostly theory based
Yeah.
because I myself have studied and I'm still doing my PhD from a traditional university, University of
Yeah.
Calcutta. I can see the scenario over there that they
Mm,
rely more on the theoretical part rather than
mm,
the practical part. Whereas I am, as an assistant professor, is teaching in a Techno India University,
mm.
which is more open to approaching practical parts alongside
Okay.
the theory portions. For
All right.
instance, in
Mm,
classrooms, we allow the students to
mm.
explore how actual workings are going on. How,
Yeah.
for instance, new criminal laws. Last year it has
Mm,
been introduced
mm,
and aware of it. What the practical scenario is. So,
mm,
what we are trying to do, we are bringing on experts, expert
mm.
advocates who are working on it. It's a growing
Mm,
portion. So, we are
mhm.
considering more on the practical scenario.
Yeah.
As I am also seen in a trend among the NLU students, National Law
Mm,
Universities,
mhm,
the universities are open lab, like St. Xavier's University, or Techno India University, they all are opening more on the practical part.
mm.
So to conclude this question, I can say that it is not entirely based on theory, but yes, mostly it is based on theory.
Theory.
Practical approach is being taken, but it will take time. And that
Mm,
is the reason why when most of the students after passing out go to court, they become
mm.
lost. I myself
Yes.
was lost when I got to court
No,
first.
even me myself too. Even I was lost when I started my practice. So,
Yes, it happens to all. It has happened to all of us.
yes. So, according to you, what changes would you like to see? How law is taught in the universities or in the classes?
I think there should be a balance between the theoretical knowledge and the practical knowledge. When
Mm,
we are teaching something like family law, it is
mm.
taught in the first year in every law school. Okay,
Yeah.
so when we are teaching family law, we can take the students to the family courts to see
Yeah.
how the actual problems are addressed, how the parties are given a portion for a
Mm,
counselor, or the judges are
yeah.
trying to make them stick to their marriage, how they are being counseled, that
Mm,
okay, give
mm,
a chance before going to the final decision. Or contract is also another subject which is taught in the first year of every law school, the first semester
mm,
itself.
mm, yeah.
So we can give them show them agreements, how the agreements are done. If not possible, or every time it is not possible for
Mm,
everyone, we can set up demonstrations in class like this is
mm,
an agreement, this is my classmate, I am doing an agreement with him or her,
mm,
this is my
mm,
consideration. So
mm.
what will happen is that the student will get interest, first thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Second thing is that there will be the concept will be very much clear, because
Yeah.
the problem not only with this generation is too much tech savvy, and they have a
Mm,
tendency
mm,
more on the visuals than on the
mm,
books. So it will
mm.
be easier for them to grip, and they will also become more interested in the classroom. They will turn to the
Yes.
classroom to learn.
Yes, and the number of live examples they will get to see or get to learn in a classroom, the it will amount to the better knowledge of themselves, right?
Yes,
Because the
of course.
number
Of
of live examples they will see, the number of live examples they are discussing it with their friends, colleagues, or even with the teachers. The basic concept of contract drafting or law will gonna get cleared, right?
yes, obviously.
So, in your opinion, what's one area of law that young lawyers or the newcomers often underestimate?
Well, as much as I have seen,
Hmm.
they are the young lawyers, they only
Hmm.
study the portions they are interested in. They think it
Yeah.
is an obligation.
Hmm.
And to point it out, I have seen major lack of knowledge in the procedural laws.
Hmm.
Until and unless they are going to the court law at all.
Hmm.
So this is a big lag behind. Are not so this is a big lag behind which I have
Hmm.
seen while teaching
Hmm.
also I have seen, because they don't find it more interesting in theoretical portion.
Hmm. Yes.
Another problem is that
Hmm.
until and unless they are getting interest, they are going
Hmm.
to understand it. They are like, okay, for instance, evidence act. I am
Hmm.
not going to study criminal.
Hmm.
What is the point of studying evidence act? I have studied IPC, I have studied sorry, BNS, I have studied BNS. So this is the attitude of them
Hmm.
that what's the point? of
Hmm.
going further.
Procedural laws
Yes,
are always
procedural
left behind
behind.
by everyone.
Yes,
Once they enter the
yes,
practice, once they get the punishments from their senior, like go and study it, I want a report tomorrow. Until then, none of
yes,
us have studied the procedural laws, right?
yes. You have
Yes.
being there, so that's why you don't want the
Ye-
future generation
Just
to
to
do
be
the same
to
thing.
do that, right? And
Yes,
it was bang on.
yes,
Your point, like the students or the newcomers generally don't or underestimate the procedural laws, it was bang on point. I could relate it to myself. At the time when I entered the profession as a newcomer, I was not knowing much of the procedural laws. I learned it by doing practice only. But it was there in the curriculum of ours. CRPC, the previous one, CRPC, CPC, those were there in our curriculum. And we studied only that part which was important, which was told to be
yes,
important, right?
yes,
So,
yes.
so according to you, are there any legal topics or cases you think every student, regardless of their specialization like civil, criminal, corporate, must understand well?
Yes, there are numerous landmark cases that which all the law students
Hmm.
should understand, should learn. First
Hmm.
and foremost, obviously, is the Kesavananda Bharati case
Yeah.
1973.
Yeah.
It's the gold mine for everyone to learn.
Hmm.
Next, I would like to point out the Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India case.
Hmm. Hmm.
Even though it has focused mostly on due process of law and liberty, it has
Hmm.
numerous aspects which has actually changed the dimension of Article 21.
Yes.
Right. Next is the Bhopal gas tragedy case,
Case.
as well as the Oleum gas leak case in Delhi. It
Hmm.
has
Hmm.
brought the concept of absolute liability, which is a
Absolute liability.
landmark absolute liability, which is
Hmm.
landmark in Indian jurisprudence, not only in Indian jurisprudence, in
Hmm.
tort,
Hmm.
in environmental, in everywhere it is used. And if we ask randomly anywhere, they won't be able to
Hmm.
understand answer
No.
because they
No.
don't know. And
Yes.
this is such a case which should be known by all because it's a
Known by all.
landmark case brought so many changes in our legal system.
Hmm.
So this is one. This is another. Next one, I
Hmm.
would like to point out DK versus State of West Bengal, which brought about
Okay.
the case of custodial death in police custody.
Hmm.
Then Vishaka versus State of Rajasthan case, sexual harassment of
This
women
one.
in workplace.
Hmm.
There is one and two more I would like to add. Number one is Sreya Singhal versus Union of India 2015.
Hmm.
Okay, so current we all are talking about AI, we all are talking about data
Hmm.
privacy.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about privacy, how can we miss out the 2017 Puthuswamy versus Union of India
In
case?
India case.
So those are the cases that in my opinion, all
Hmm.
should learn. All should at least know about them, what the content is.
Content is. I have made a note of it. The cases you said, I also have made a note of it. It was very important for me too. Okay, now let's move ahead with the next question of this evening. Like, what was the biggest challenge you faced early in your career?
The biggest challenge initially I started off as an advocate.
Hmm.
Thereafter, I switched to academia. The
Hmm.
biggest challenge as an advocate was to understand how to work, what
Hmm.
to work, how to work, and what
Hmm.
to say, what to do. And fortunately, I learned from my senior.
Hmm.
And coming to academia, and coming from a traditional university to
Hmm.
a university which is more modern in approach, modern education, it was quite
Hmm.
challenging for me to cope up over
Hmm.
here initially.
Hmm.
Because to be very honest, I felt my professors were much less approachable during my student life.
Okay.
So here the students can approach us more
Hmm.
easily. We are more
Okay.
accessible to the students. This was a
Hmm.
kind of cultural shock for me that how
Hmm.
can this be possible? So this was
Hmm.
very challenging. Next
All right.
one was when we are trying to set up something. We are trying
Hmm.
to integrate something in our course, doing something
Hmm.
in a different way. For
Hmm.
instance, I after my joining, I organized a outdoor legal aid camp and organized
Hmm.
an outdoor decalate camp just
Hmm.
quite far away from here.
Okay.
It was near Sundarbans, so it was quite far away from our university, and it took a
Hmm.
lot of time convincing the authority, convincing the students, go
Hmm.
over there, learn what it is. So these
Okay.
were quite challenging thoughts which I initially faced, but
Hmm.
now it's all right, and
Oh,
they
okay.
are like, okay, ma'am, when will you go
Hmm.
out? So
So the transition was a bit challenging, but once it is done, I think the journey is beautiful now, and you are enjoying
yes, the
it.
journey is quite beautiful. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm wholly enjoying it.
So now, a teacher's advice or a professor's advice for a final year law student, what would it be?
Final year for final year students, what I always
Yeah.
say that invest in your skills. We
Okay.
can write a lot of things in our CV, but our skills speak for ourselves. Even if our CV is half a page,
Hmm.
whatever skills I have, it speaks for us. And
Okay.
also, the biggest thing we all should learn is that managing stress. We
Yeah.
all have a lot in our plates.
Hmm.
How we arrange everything in our plate, that is what makes us different from
It will
others.
go lifelong. It will not going to end there. It will
Yes,
not
it
going to
will
end in
go.
5 years. It will not going to end after your law school. It will not going to end after your internship. It will go lifelong. So you need to be
It will go.
prepared. Yeah.
Yes, and these are our assets. These are our
Yeah.
assets,
Hmm.
and this always we should ask why and just
Hmm.
not what. And
Yes.
one more thing I'd like to add
Hmm.
that we all have read, we all have heard in our from our childhood, jack
Hmm.
of trades or trades, master of none. But
Hmm.
we should learn the whole quote: jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than master of one. As a
Yes.
lawyer, we all around us because we all are meant to be so. We
Meant to
are
be so.
not master of none. We are
Hmm.
master of one.
On. Okay, ma'am. That was wonderful hearing it from you. And I think the students or our viewers will gonna love it. And we will be needing a lot of more knowledge from you. So let's move ahead with the show. Okay.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So, Shreya, has any student or a moment ever made you feel in your teaching journey, this is why I teach? Has any moment or any student has done that?
Yeah, there are numerous
Okay.
because I have been teaching for near about 3 years now.
Okay.
So there has been numerous moments. I would like to highlight some. For
Hmm.
there are some students in every class who are low in confidence, who think that they belonging to they have studied in school in Bengali medium or Hindi medium,
Hmm.
and they are not fluent in English, so they are a bit low in confidence. And
Hmm.
some of them also belong to rural areas, some of them are low in confidence, so they
Hmm.
think that they will not be able to cope up with this culture, with
Yeah.
this posh Kolkata culture, or they will not be able to survive in court.
Hmm.
So, fortunately, those who have opened up with at me that, ma'am, guide us, how will we go? And some are like first generation lawyers, like I am. So they are
Hmm.
like, we don't have any guardian over here, don't have any godfather,
Hmm.
how will we survive? So
Hmm.
I motivated them, I trained them, I have sent
Hmm.
them to some of my known people. Do
Hmm.
go over there until and unless you go, how will you get the exposure?
Yeah.
When they come back, they are giving good feedback. Even the people I have sent them to, they are giving good feedback. So
Hmm.
that is one point I feel that, okay, I have done something, I have done something good for them.
Yes.
And few students, when they pass out, when they are going for higher studies, when they say
Hmm.
that ma'am has guided us for higher studies, ma'am has motivated us, it really
Hmm.
feels good that, okay, I have done something as a teacher. As a
Hmm.
teacher, I have shown them the path to what to do and how to do.
Hmm.
So this is how it
Like,
happens.
it's
Uh,
the feeling is quite wonderful. It's just like
yeah, it's good.
a farm, just like I am giving a simple example, just like a farmer. When he or she crops a seed, he doesn't know how it will gonna plant. But when it grows, the joy or the happiness it has, it's something, it's kind of same, I believe. A teacher nurtures. A
Yes,
teacher gives the things into the minds, and when those minds come, like we are successful, madam. We have achieved it,
yes, and
madam.
also, yes, also one more thing I would like to add,
Mhm.
as academicians,
Mhm.
we have to go for many conferences, and we have a
Yeah.
tendency to encourage the students also to present paper, go over
Mhm.
there, go to the moot courts when
Mhm.
they are succeeding over there, they are winning over there, they are
Yeah.
presenting good papers because
Mhm.
that papers they are presenting over there, they are always showing it to us, and
Yes.
we are giving them review as much possible.
Mhm.
And when they are going over there and they are saying that we have won the way you have trained us, so
Mhm.
it really feels very joyful for us
Yes, of
that
course.
we have contributed something to the society.
That's why a teacher teaches. Now that's the
Yes.
answer, right? So, a quote you live by. Let's go for this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A quote I would, from the first year of my college,
Hmm.
quote I which has particularly stuck, I mean, what to say, or struck me, that was, justice is a machine that when someone has once given it the starting
Hmm.
push, rolls
Hmm.
on of itself, by John
Hmm.
Galsworthy Justice. So
Yeah.
this is what I found very fascinating, and this is
Hmm.
what I live by, because we all tend to say that justice delayed is justice denied, but I feel
Tonight.
that justice is ongoing.
Yes. Is the process.
There is no end to justice. Yes.
Yes. Is the process. So by that we now are at the last one of the evening. Okay. And it was a very quick journey. We have already spent half an hour and it is gone.
Yeah.
Right? So now
Yes.
this one is for a young woman from a small town who dreams of becoming a lawyer or a professor. What advice would you give it to her?
I would like to say that
Yeah.
never stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming. There will be lots and lots of hurdles. There
Hmm.
will be people who bring you down. By people, I mean men, women, both.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay? There will be a lot of people who are going to bring you down. There will be a
Hmm.
lot of people who will be saying, what's the point?
Hmm.
Don't listen.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want, how you want. If you have the capacity to dream of something, you have the capacity to build it.
Yeah.
So that is what I have felt. I am doing it still now,
Hmm.
and I'll continue to do so. So this is what advice I would like to give to everyone as a small town woman.
Yes. So, madam, keep inspiring people, keep inspiring the young ones, keep inspiring the legal minds who are coming and will going to lead the next generation. And with that, it brings us to the end of this insightful conversation with you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today and sharing not only your journey, but your experiences that will resonate with many. And with
Thank you
that,
for considering me
yeah,
for this episode,
yes, ma'am.
and all the best to you too.
Thank you, ma'am. And one more thing, one last question we will ask you. Like, if someone wants to connect with you for any kind of guidance, or wants to follow your work, or wants to talk about the journey, like if they resonate with you, so can we provide your LinkedIn IDs in the description of this video so that they can connect with you?
Yes, yes, of course. Of course. I would love to help others. I would love to inspire others. If they want to connect with me, I'll definitely. I am open to it. So I definitely love to share it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your
Okay.
time. Thank you for this insightful
Thank
session.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.